Hello, I am Cathartic Psychic Healer, and this is a general reading for Scorpio for May 2018. This is a general reading for Scorpio for May 2018. If your sun, moon, or rising sign is Scorpio, this reading is for you. If Please comment, like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell to receive an immediate notification as soon as I upload a video. Okay, Scorpio. You have the death card, the first card that came up, and the rest of everything came in reverse. And death immediately means, and the fact that death is upright and the rest is upside down. This intuitive reading it means that change needs to happen. The old you needs to go away, and the new you needs to be here. And this is really interesting because death represents Scorpio. That is the Scorpion. That is the tarot card, the major arcana card that is in direct connect with Scorpio. So this is really about change. It's about endings. It's about things need to be done and over with. There's a lot of cups here. You know what I mean? Maybe relationships. Maybe that's not on your radar right now. But let's look. Okay. Death represents stagnation. Change is needed. Depression. Not moving in every aspect of life. Inertia. That's what that means. Failure and depression. Death represents transition, great change. The past is completely left behind. You're going on into new experiences, and there's a new cycle of events. And I can tell you right now, this whole reading can be done with just the death card upside right, and then everything else came in reverse. It's done. You don't even need to hear anything else, to be honest. But I'm gonna go through and see what this means because, like, the death has a scythe. And he's cutting through everything in the past. He's cutting through everything in the past. Everything came up upside down except for death. And everything is going to be severed in the past. The old you is gone. The new you is reborn like a phoenix, sort of. The Queen of Cups. Next, you have the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is a water sign, which is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And the Queen of Cups represents an immoral person, an immoral individual given to fantasies and capricious behavior, a degrading situation, dreams which will turn into nightmares, are unreliable. So in the past, you have been immoral. Maybe you guys were you just didn't care about certain things or people or whatever, and your behavior showed that, like other people seen that. And it says a degrading situation. Degrading. That's degrading. That's interesting. Dreams which will turn into nightmares. So maybe your dreams were nightmares before in the past. Maybe they're not going to be nightmares anymore. Maybe they're going to be actual dreams that are coming in their life, since you have a death card and that represents change. So everything that's here is you in the past. I can tell already. And everything that's here is you in the new beginning. Everything that's here is the death card is the beginning. So next you have the Five of Wands in reverse. The Five of Wands. In the past, you were competing with other people. You know what I mean? And you were being a trickster and a fraud. And you don't need to do that. You don't need to compete with other people, and that's why it's interesting that the Queen of Cups, one of the highest, one of the higher suits, is right after the Death card, and is upside down, and the rest of your reading is upside down. So really, I think that you guys have been in a degrading situation. You have been immoral. You know what I mean? Just not caring. Because it wasn't an ideal situation. And your dreams weren't coming into reality, so that's what made you just not really care about certain things. But this is the old you. I'm talking about the old you. This is what I'm gonna have to do a clarification, because this is strictly about the old you, and it says this is for the month of May 2018. But like, I want to know what's new, so I'm gonna have to. I need clarification. So next, you have the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups represents troubled relationships and love, friendship, or family, or both, and divorce. So maybe in the past, a lot of you, you know what I mean, had failed relationships with friends, families, and actual partners. Next, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, um, financial despair, resources unwisely used. Maybe you didn't have a lot of money and you used money on things that weren't important. Bad luck, risks should not have been taken in the past. And they shouldn't be taken now. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna have to do pretty much a whole nother reading on you guys, because it just seems like you Scorpios have been dealing with, in every aspect of your life, friendships, relationships, spirituality, money. You know what I mean? Has been very. You've been living in despair for a long time. Next, you have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups represents insensitivity to others, a flatterer and a deceiver, and selfishness. And I'm surprised. Um, yeah, they said flattery is the tool of the devil. Death is almost in connect with the devil. You know what I mean? Like, as far as the Grim Reaper, the Scorpio, the Scorpion, the ender of all. Insensitivity to others, a flatterer and a deceiver, and being selfish. So you were selfish in the past. You were an immoral person. You had financial despair and lost trouble in relationships. I have to do a reading pretty much on top of this, because first I'm going to do a clarification on top of the Death card, and then I'm going to do a clarification for each card after the Death card, to see what you can do now, because it's not fair. Well, this reading is showing the past you after the Death card, so I need to see the new you after the Death card. Okay, I need to see the new you, Scorpio, for May and from here on out. So. Okay, so the clarification for the Death card is the Six of Cups. Let's see, the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups means that dreams and their offerings are now being presented. Wow, that's crazy. Dreams and their offerings are now being presented, but the mature individual must be responsible for his or her emotions. Emotional adjustments must be made to fulfill the desires. So, and you have the Death card, which has changed, and now your dreams are coming true in May, but before, the dreams were turning into nightmares because of your past. Because of your past, because you didn't fulfill those dreams. You weren't in a position to fulfill those dreams. So death, between the Death card, which has changed, and the Six of Cups, I think you're going to be fine from here on out. Now let's look at the Queen of Cups. And I want to get clarification of that. And a moral individual. I'm going to see clarification on the Queen of Cups from here on out. How can you? So this reading is a very unique reading, and now I have to see. Like, Spirit is telling me that you had a Death card and that represents change, but the change wasn't shown in here. Now I have to see clarification of who you were before, and now what you have to do now to change that for each card from here on out. So the Queen of Cups represents an immoral person. Let's see what, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully this will come out positive. You know what I mean? Like, let me see. You have the Six of Swords over the Queen of Cups. And let's see, the Six of Swords upside right is, wow. When intellectual adjustments such as change of consciousness are made, rewards are received. A journey of mind or body is undertaken with good results. And I did a reading for you guys last month, which was a mind, body, spirit reading and a self healing reading. You need to look at that. You need to watch that. So, when intellectual adjustments such as change of consciousness are made, rewards are received, and journey of mind or body is undertaken with good results. And when the swords come up, that represents everything as far as communication, all the air signs, which is Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. And the swords represents the intellect. They're the like communicators, the intellects of the zodiac sign. And when the swords come up, it means intellectual adjustments. You need to stop thinking you know everything, and and you need to make a change, because in the past, where has that gotten you before? If you look at your life in the past, where has thinking that you know everything has gotten you, now up until this point? You need to humble yourself as far as your mind is concerned, and you know what I mean, and assume that you know nothing, and learn. You know, thinking that you're above learning is a form of arrogance. Um, when you do this, when you make this intellectual adjustment, and change your consciousness and how your words affect other people, not just in your own mind, how your words affect other people. You know what I mean? Some words that you say, you know what I mean? Like, it may say, hey, you're you want to say these words because you're comfortable saying it and it makes you feel good. But how it affects someone else, you need to take that into consideration. Because I tell you this right now, you're going to lose some people who, you're going to offend people. And when you're insensitive to offending people, you you can't get upset at their reaction. You chose to say certain words, you know what I mean? So those people who are, receiving these words, they don't have to talk to you. They don't have to speak to you. They don't have to do nothing. They don't have to react to it. And don't get upset when they use the same form of communication back to you. Next, you have the Five of Wands. Let's offer clarification of that. What was the Five of Wands? Five of Wands um, was love of competition and trickery and fraud. Now, let's see clarification of that. Fraud and trickery. Three of Pentacles, Five of Wands, trickery. Now let's see the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles in reverse represents mediocrity, delays in contracts, and failure because of laziness and scattered energy. So if you're frauding, I always say this, you know what I mean? If you're frauding, if you're tricking other people, it's a distraction to your money. I always say that, you know what I mean? And pentacles represent money, success, and everything like that. So when you trick other people, when you trick other people in the past, it really has gotten you nowhere, and it delayed everything as far as contracts, and it messed up your own energy. So that's karmic. You know what I mean? That's karmic. So whatever it comes up right, whatever comes down, it's a lesson learned, and these are ways that you have to be better yourself. And the Three of Pentacles represents Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. Now I need clarification on the relationships, the Two of Cups. Now I need clarification on the Two of Cups, the Two of Cups. Clarification for Scorpio for the month of May. Who were you in the past, Scorpio, and who are you now? Or who are you trying to be? Or who do you need to be? You know what I mean? Who do you need to be? What do you need to work on in the past? Two of Cups relationship. The Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Wands. In reverse. The Queen of Wands in reverse. The Queen of Wands represents a jealous, deceitful person who is treacherous, a person who creates obstacles, a situation that prevents creativity, absence of inspiration, fickleness, resistance, and offense quickly taken as an excuse to break a promise. So, in your past relationships, see, this is you're now in your relationships sector. I would be really surprised. See, clarification on each one. First you had swords, now you had pentacles, now you got wands. I wouldn't be surprised if the next one was water. So the cups or whatever. So I believe in your past, Scorpio, you were jealous, but your partner was jealous. You know what I mean? In your relationships. And this partner could have been an Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. And this represents a deceitful person who is treacherous, a person who creates obstacles for no apparent reason and stops your creativity. This person prevents your creativity. So this could be, or they may have Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries in their moon because relationships, you know what I mean, like feelings, emotions, love. So that was your past. That was another person. I don't believe that was you, but I believe you were jealous though. And I think anybody would. Now I need clarification for the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles was in reverse. It was despair of financial money, literally dropping money out of your hand and actually losing money, in the past, so, and just unwise with money as well. Clarification for the Ace of Pentacles. Clarification for the Ace of Pentacles. Two of Wands in reverse. Two of Wands represents domination by others, resentment leading to aggression. You resented something in your past as far as money is concerned. Maybe you didn't have a conventional job or something like that, or maybe you gave up certain jobs for other jobs because you probably weren't happy, and you know what I mean. That was probably a mistake, but hey, we all learn from our mistakes. But if you're not happy, then I understand. And the universe understands also. But domination by others, so you had to dominate other people, or another fire sign, Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries, dominated you, and it resented you, and it led to a lot of aggression and hostility as far as money. So it could be a direct connection to your relationship. Very interesting. Now I need clarification for the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups was someone who you were in the past, and that was a cups, and that's the page. That's the highest page you can be. That's the highest you can be. No, it's not. The Page of Cups represents someone in the past who was in reverse, frauding and tricking, not frauding and tricking people, but flattering people. And I say flattery is a tool of the devil, and do not do it. So I need clarification on please need clarification on the Page of Cups. A major arcana. Page of Cups. Now, Cups represents relationships, and it also represents Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So if you were involved with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or if you were the one doing the flattering and stuff like that, it was blinded by someone who was worldly. So someone who was worldly may have, who is like spiritual, who has, okay, all four suits. This is blowing my mind. All four suits came up in the clarification. You have the cups, you have swords, you have the pentacles, and you have the fire wands. And the fire wands, are represent. I'm looking at this two of cups underneath the Queen of Wands, and the Page of Cups underneath that. You know what I mean? So your relationship, like this person who was who was creating obstacles for you for nothing, who was dominating you, who was he was probably flattering you, and this person appeared like an angel. He appeared like someone who was spiritual, who knew everything, and then the Magician has all four suits in his realm, and he's the only card that has all four suits in his realm, which is the swords right here. You have the swords right here, the wands, the cups, and the pentacles. You have all that right there. So that person had everything. He appeared like he was. This is godly. He appeared godly. He appeared, highly spiritual. And the Magician represents someone whose battles can be won on the earthly and the spiritual plane. So this person could have used like um, their philosophy on you to dominate you. They could have used their philosophy on you to dominate you and to create obstacles for you for no reason, to have control of you, period. I cannot make this up. The cards never lie. I'm cathartic psychic healer. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share, and the notification button.